We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Visit Florida's recent removal of LGBTQ plus promotion from the site is helping Visit Lauderdale to gain more popularity of LGBTQ travel across the world. This is
Women's Equality Day marks the 1920 ratification of the 19th Amendment celebrating women's suffrage. This year is special as the country witnesses its first potential female U.S. president.
Luis Morera announces the Urge Miami Thanksgiving Festival, featuring rooftop parties, pool events, and a beach bash from November 29th to December 2nd. It's one of the world's largest LGBTQ party weekends, and passes are available online.
This week, thousands gathered in D.C. for the National Trans Visibility March, advocating for trans rights, comprehensive health care, and visibility amidst rising anti-trans legislation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels. We are proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company vidIQ, that we now have more than 9.5 million views because of you. More than 500,000 of you have watched this show in the last 60 days. Thank you. It is Monday, August 26, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus and broader communities.
That's right, Dale, and let's welcome our anchors today. We'll begin with Jamaal L. Starks, a.k.a. Porcelain Baby. Jamaal is the president of Impulse Group Miami, a spiritualist, wellness advocate, and coach, and walks as a sex siren in the ballroom scene with the House of Gorgeous Gucci. He's a board member of the Legacy Builders Consulting Group and is a certified yoga instructor at the Miami Life Center in Wynwood. Welcome back, Jay. How are you, puppy?
I'm good. I'm urban beauty boy today.
You're always an urban beauty.
You are definitely pretty in pink.
You are. I love it. How's everything with you? Are you good?
I'm doing very well. And also, we have the Queer Yoga Club this week on Saturday. If you want to stop by and see me and flow with me, and we have a big surprise. We have a huge surprise on Saturday, so come flow with us.
Oh, wait a minute. I said that out loud. That was totally in my mind, right? And then it just came out my mind.
I'm thinking about doing a naked yoga club, though, for the people, but it's in the works. Yes.
Okay, see, it's in the works. Make sure that you follow Porcelain, okay? Because you'll see all these incredible videos of some of the yoga classes and some of the stuff that he does, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Yes,
Did you see how he did that? He's like Kamala. He's for the people.
I'm for the people. And the queers, especially.
Right? That's his motto on Grindr, too. For the people. Next up, let's welcome Edward Otto Zielke. From a successful career in financial marketing to his current role as the Director of Marketing and Sponsorship for the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida, Edward's journey is marked by accolades and achievements. The Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is one of the world's largest and most important LGBTQ cultural arts organizations. Edward, the final auditions for
Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida.
Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is coming up. It's going to be Saturday, September 7th, right here at Sunshine Cathedral Square. Let us know. Tell me what's happening.
Yeah, so final auditions coming up in about less than 2 weeks. Just go to our website, gmcsf.org, to register. Gabe is really excited. We've just accepted over 20 new members 2 weeks ago, and so we're hoping for another 20 more. He's already gone out and picked out his holiday music. He's starting to pick out for our holiday concerts that are going to be happening this holiday season at Sunshine Cathedral and at Seminole Hard Rock Live Hotel and Casino.
Yes.
So it'll be fantastic. So if you have a song prepared, or if you just want to come in and sing happy birthday, just to get yourself in and just coming down, and we have a great time when we are singing all together.
I love that. And I found this fan, right? And I was like, oh, I love it. And then I'm looking at the back, Pam. All right, we sing gay, okay? And just a reminder, you don't have to be a gay man to go and audition for the Gay Men's Chorus. You can be of any identification, any gender, anything, and just come. And
absolutely true. You can definitely come as long as you can sing within the tenor, baritone, bass range, which is usually the lower parts in the male voice. And we do have some members that identify as female, and they can sing in those registers, and so we welcome them in. And I think we have 2 new female members that just came in this time around. So it's quite exciting. It's a big melting pot.
Have you ever told anybody no?
We have, yes. Okay. There have been people, that are unfortunately a little tone deaf. So, but we, suggestions in terms of lessons and stuff and trying to get them a bit there. Well, there is a non-singing component as well being in the chorus too. So,
jazz hands.
Yes. So, if you're dance, that could be a possibility too.
I love that. All right, September 7th, go on over and audition, but sign up online first, okay? Next up, let's welcome my brother, Dale Stine. He's a celebrated photographer in the LGBTQ community. He's the director of music ministry at the famous Unity on the Bay and a moderator of at Miami Gay List, one of South Florida's largest LGBTQ Facebook groups, which can also be found on IG as at Queer List Official. Welcome back, Dale. How are you, baby?
I'm good. It's great to be here. And speaking of Unity on the Bay, we had a fantastic day just yesterday at Unity on the Bay. We had our annual. It was just a very big homecoming for a lot of people there. It was super cool.
Yes, big shout out going out to Reverend James Trapp, who came on over and visited us. Also, Marielle Epps was in the house.
Lisa Richards.
We had people there in the house. It was wonderful. Unity on the Bay Day. I mean, we're blessed here in South Florida to have 2 incredible institutions. So queer people out there, there is a place for you. Sunshine Cathedral in Broward, Unity on the Bay in Miami. Find your group. Trust.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She's a legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of the FayWhat show on Mondays at Hotspots happening out, and you can find me there as well.
Yes, you can.
Faye, Pride Fantasia 2024 is on September 12th at the Manor. This event is to benefit SunServe's LGBTQ plus youth. Tell me what's happening.
Yes, come join us for the first annual Pride Fantasia 2024, a celebration of the arts. September 12th, Saturday at the Manor Complex. September 12th at the Manor Complex, So this not to be missed showcase will feature performances and exhibits from a variety of local artists, hosted by Matthew Darren himself, produced by D-Rock Productions. This event will not only thrill your eyes and ears, but fill your hearts with the true spirit of pride, okay? Because hashtag love is love. The tatted violinist Marcos Acox will be in the house, and he'll be definitely delighting your ears and your visuals because he's so beautiful to watch. I'll be there. Eric Restivo from Listen Sweetie will also be on site as well. Get your tickets at MatthewDarren.com. That is Matthew Darren with 2 T's and 2 R's, all right? That's how he says it too, all right? Pride Fantasia 2024. See you then. Benefiting the LGBTQ plus youth of SunServe. So we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Monday, August 26, 2024. First this evening, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. During P-Town Carnival, Visit Florida drops LGBTQ support, while Visit Lauderdale reports record in LGBTQ tourism. Last week, Queer News Tonight reported that Visit Florida, the state's official visitor promotion agency to a worldwide audience, has quietly eliminated all LGBTQ embracement and promotion of travel to Florida. It was a shocking decision because Disney is the largest LGBTQ employer in the world, and 3 of the top LGBTQ destinations in the world are right here in Florida. At the same time, Visit Lauderdale reported that Florida's loss was Greater Fort Lauderdale's gain. Last week, Visit Lauderdale was the sponsor in P-Town with a dramatic marketing effort on why the world should continue to travel to Florida, specifically Broward County. Provincetown's famous Carnival had a Visit Lauderdale float and participation in many events. The messages were, quote, "We say gay" in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Say gay! We love you! Make some noise, Provincetown! We say gay! I should get into that revolutionary brigade, honey.
Richard Gray, Senior Vice President at Visit Lauderdale, revealed why events like this are so critically important to our LGBTQ+ community. He spoke to Queer News Tonight's executive producer, Al Ferguson, to talk about the strength of the LGBTQ travel market. New annual numbers showed that Greater Fort Lauderdale had 21.9 million domestic travelers that stayed at least one night. The average spending by these guests was $260 per person. That new reporting also showed that LGBTQ+ community spending was 50% more at $390 a person. An astounding 13% of all visitors to the county were LGBTQ, and that amounted to 2.8 million queer visitors. Is marketing to the LGBTQ worldwide community important? Well, Gray's answer was clear. The annual report showed that LGBTQ spending in Greater Fort Lauderdale was $1.12 billion with a B. And the report didn't stop there. The new figures were even better from international visitors. 15% of all international visitors to Greater Fort Lauderdale were LGBTQ, which accounted for a jaw-dropping 375,000 visitors who spent $243 million. The result is clear. Governor Ron DeSantis and the state's Visit Florida have now denied diversity in a spending category that is far greater for LGBTQ travelers in Florida. In total, Visit Lauderdale reports that the LGBTQ community traveler generated more than $1.4 billion in the county. That makes Greater Fort Lauderdale the #1 LGBTQ tourism destination in the world. Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida's loss is truly Greater Fort Lauderdale's gain. Queer News Tonight wonders if anyone told Disney and Universal about Greater Fort Lauderdale's news. You know, we told this story last week, and it was a little heartbreaking, right, to many of us, just saying like, wow, like, you know, in the middle of the night, a la Ron DeSantis, right, you're just going to completely clear us out. Like we don't even exist on Visit Florida's website, you know, and I instantly went, and I don't know why, but I went to check Visit Miami, and I went to go check Visit Fort Lauderdale just in case, and they were both intact and everything was fine. And I was just like, oh my goodness, you know, then I started reading about it, and, you know, it truly hurt my heart. You know, it truly hurt my heart that they just, you know, would do something like that. You know, I think about the mom and pop organizations and and places that depend on that tourist money. You know, when they had made that travel ban, right? When they had, I think it was Equality Florida, was it, right?
Yeah, the human rights.
Or the human rights campaign that had said, don't go to Florida, right? And, you know, that also broke my heart because, again, we depend on that tourism money here. And, you know, Richard Gray says it best, right? If people aren't looking at LGBTQ tourism money, don't worry. Visit Lauderdale will. And we will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah. Not only is it heartbreaking, it's also, just to look at it, practically speaking, it's just stupid. I mean, better finer point on it. I mean, you know, because you're looking at, if you consider yourself to be a person of business acumen, and then you're making this decision, it's not very smart, right? Because you're like saying, oh, we don't want your money. Like Richard Gray is saying, yeah, we'll take your money.
We'll take your money.
So it's just even looking at it from that perspective. But yes, it is heartbreaking because it's like saying you're not important.
I mean, it's also very petty, too, to be quite honest. I mean, look at what the governor did to arts and culture.
Yes.
Just basically cut all of that as well. So obviously it's something that, you know, is really just put a bee in his bonnet, sort of say, and just kind of like, he's just really out to make our lives miserable for the next few years while he's here. So, we just got to be resilient about it. And thank God for Richard Gray, and thank God for the tourism here and in Miami and West Palm. It's just, we can definitely, take the lead on all of that and,
right.
Benefit from it.
Yeah. And like you said, Richard Gray is simply incredible, right? He just announced his retirement and I'm like, oh my God, what kind of shoes how can you fill those shoes? This is Richard Gray who lives, breathes our community, right? So he sent me this quote that I want to read to you folks from Richard Gray. Visit Lauderdale has been collaborating with the Provincetown Business Guild since December of 2023. The VL logo has been blasted all over P-Town as a major sponsor of the destination. This is the first time a destination has ever collaborated with another destination for such an extended time period. Yet another visit for Visit Lauderdale. Visit Lauderdale is reaching over 1 million Provincetown visitors and a digital reach of millions. The collaboration came to a climax last week with Carnival and even had a float in their parade promoting everyone under the sun. All right. Say gay, love wins, and trans lives matter. End quote.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else would be mad, right, at Visit Florida completely erasing us, right? Mm-hmm. Richard is just like, no, okay, we'll take over. We'll pick up the slack. Let's go. Come here. You're welcome. Come bring that money. We need it.
And that's a beautiful thing. We usually say this all the time, sitting here in our bubble in Broward County and Miami-Dade County, especially Broward, especially Fort Lauderdale, which has become a hub and a mecca for LGBTQ, with Wilton Manors right there, Oakland Park turning even more towards being queer and gay. And this also just brings about the importance of voting. The importance of voting, and I have to bring it back to that, because DeSantis plants that he had running for school board got they all lost, thank goodness. But this is the importance of really voting in our local electorate. We have Rick Scott on the ballot that needs to go, and so many other people that need to go. DeSantis's minions, I would say, or demons, if you would, they have to go. And so this is showing the importance of South Florida and Florida amongst our LGBTQ kin to get out and really vote, because this is important. Getting down to these petty matters of erasing us off of a website and doing little small things, these things speak volumes to the action that we need to take.
Well, and they accumulate, okay? And then we really feel that. So last Monday we were sitting here, right, you and I, and we were talking about voting and making sure that we got out to vote. And then I saw your post the following day about how dismal the turnout was. I think
it was very low.
It was like 20%.
Less than 20%. So it was 16% in Broward and 18% in Miami-Dade. They said, that's traditionally, historically accurate as far as primaries go, but that still does not excuse the fact that we're in a space where everyone should be alert and aware, and everyone should be actively participating, especially in these smaller elections. Yes, I get the presidential election is going on with the general election, but we're talking about Florida right now. We're talking about South Florida right now. We're talking about just the petty things that Satan is still doing to our community with no motivation. We're not
leave us alone. And because it was with drag queens, Our House, that whole debacle that he lost, of course. Because
don't say gay too.
But don't say gay. All of it. It's just it's trickle down Trumpisy. It's trickling down from the top of that party too.
And it's so lovely to see them have the parade in P-Town, and our epithet, "Stay Gay," still reverberating across the country. But I also want to point to the financial analytics as well, that we are powerful when it comes down to financial power. And if we start really using our boycotting or moving our money or just pouring into our own communities, then we really will start to move the needle, because those financial analytics, that data that you read, amazing.
Billions,
amazing.
Billions with a big
dollars. Billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Thank
And that's the thing. If you don't want our LGBTQ plus money, they're going to go elsewhere, right? We live here and we're telling you to come here, that you're going to be okay. You're going to have a great time. And we need you, right? Like, come on, think about Florida. It's just, I don't know anybody that is not affected by tourists not coming here. I don't. I don't. Even the Gay Men's Chorus, it doesn't matter. Like, you're putting on a show, you want people there.
I mean, even us who work and don't pay income tax. Like, the beautiful thing about when I moved back from other states, lived in Jersey, New York, lived in Texas, lived in Georgia, but I always had my address here in Florida because I didn't pay income tax. Especially New York. Y'all know y'all got that city tax, and then you got the state tax on top of it. Yeah, I ain't paid none of that because my address was 3840 at my grandmother's house. So the beautiful thing is we have that because of tourism. We have that because of tourism. If you continually attack the people that are coming here, especially LGBTQ plus coins, to come here for our lovely beaches, lovely weather, it's beautiful outside right now. Like, if you continue to attack that, you're attacking your own pockets. You're shooting yourself in the own foot, DeSantis.
Yep. We don't want people going to PV over us. Come here. We're not as hot.
Absolutely.
Visit Lauderdale.
Edward, what's
Next, let's queer up the USA View. Celebrating Women's Equality Day, a legacy of progress and future hope. Today, August 26th, marks Women's Equality Day, commemorating the monumental achievement of women's suffrage, and lesbians and queer women are front and center in this celebration. The day celebrates the ratification of the 19th century amendment in 1920, which granted women the right to vote in the U.S., a milestone in the global struggle for gender equality. The journey toward this landmark decision began in the early 19th century when women who were denied prosperity rights and equal wages started advocating for political representation. By the early 1900s, nations like Finland, New Zealand, and the UK have already extended voting rights to women. In the US, however, the 19th Amendment faced significant hurdles until women's pivotal contributions during World War I highlighted the inconsistency of denying them democratic rights while fighting for them abroad. The turning point came in 1920 when the amendment was ratified after Tennessee's crucial vote. It was influenced by a heartfelt plea from the mother of a young state representative named Harry T. Byrne. This day was later designated as Women's Equality Day by Congress in 1971. 2024 is turning out to be the central for women's equality. Women's health rights has become a major issue in the states across the country after the Supreme Court overturn of Roe. The Paris Olympics just finished reporting that for the first time in history, women's participation was parity with men. The DNC just finished as we look forward to making history again. Kamala Harris, Vice President and 2024 presidential candidate, could become the first female president of the U.S., a testament to the enduring impact of the women's suffrage. Harris is a longtime and major supporter of LGBTQ plus rights, especially focusing on women and children. And, what can you say about women's rights? I mean, it's been over 100 years now, and women's rights have paved the way for broader conversations that we're having today, with LGBTQ plus rights and other marginalized communities. So it's very important, when you look at from the perspective is that, as a country, we've been here 248 years, or if you're a Native American, it's like 500 plus years. And it's only been in the last 100 years that we've just started to see this type of change within the country. So, we're still pretty fragile, I think.
Yeah.
As we can see.
Yeah.
What's going on.
We are. I mean, women are, I think everybody at the table will agree, the first marginalized group ever in life,
Right.
And, as long as women face discrimination, harassment, inequality, right, oppression, then we all will. That's just the bottom line. The reality is that only 50 years ago, I needed Dale to sign for me to have a bank account.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, just 50 years.
Yeah.
And here we are in 2024, and I still don't have the right to choose over my reproductive decisions.
Yeah.
You know, so it's weird to celebrate this today and then be aware of just how we haven't gotten so far, you know. And then in other aspects we have, right, Kamala. Right, Kamala?
Yes.
You know, from the White House itself, they had released a proclamation saying for Women's Equality Day, 104 years ago, American women won the right to vote with the ratification of the 19th Amendment, bringing us closer to living up to our nation's most fundamental values of dignity, fairness, freedom, and equality. On Women's Equality Day, we recognize the courage of generations of visionaries who fought tirelessly for the sacred cause of women's suffrage and all those who continue to work forward and for more equitable futures for women and girls in America. You know, I mean, and again, it's just being seen, right? But from the White House, when the White House does things like that, it just reminds us that we are seen, you know, regardless of race, religion, or anything else, you know. But it's still a stark reminder as to how much further we still need to go.
I love that they talked a lot about suffrage at the DNC. They made a big deal because of the timing of, you know, the calendar timing of it, and wearing white to symbolize suffrage. So I mean, that visibility is super important.
Yeah.
The reminder that we've come this far, and yet we're trying to be, there's voting again, because there's one party that's trying to take us back and to the time when you had just addressed, when you could vote, or, you know, or you couldn't have a bank account, or, you know, you have no body autonomy. So voting again is super important, and since suffrage is about voting, it's again pointing to that.
It reminds me, because I was talking to an aunt of mine recently, and like we were talking about when she was married and blah blah blah, and I was like, you know, and she had an abusive husband, and I said, but Tia, why didn't you leave him? And she said, I could not open up a bank account on my own. So for me to leave him and try to find a job and try to do all that on my own with kids, it was just impossible to do.
Literally impossible.
Literally impossible. You know, so you're right. We have made remarkable strides, you know, and we must never forget the history, because they keep on trying to take us back to it, right? So we must never forget. So, you know, moments like this, it's good to just stop and focus and say, okay, we've come this far. Let's keep looking to the future.
Next, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Urge Miami Thanksgiving Festival returns for the ultimate weekend starting November 29th. New co-owners of Urge Miami, Raul Griffin and Luis Morera, who is also CEO, are thrilled to invite everyone to the world-renowned Urge Miami Thanksgiving Festival, returning to Miami Beach for a spectacular weekend of celebrations. Kicking off on Friday, November 29th, the festivities begin at the Urge Miami Thanksgiving Festival headquarters, the Royal Palm Hotel, Miami Beach, where attendees can get their bearings and pick up their passes. That same day, partygoers can dive into the elevated rooftop pool party at the Palace, showcasing Miami's dazzling views. Also on Friday, Studio A will debut Guape Olé, with an electrifying lineup, including Adam, Jesus Montañez, and Lisa Rodriguez, providing a taste of Brazil's nightlife. Saturday, November 30th, continues the excitement with Urge Pool Party at the Royal Palm Hotel, featuring Elliot Cohen and Jirac, and the Urge Gladiator event at Studio A with beats from Edu Quintas, More Abrame, and Yordi. Sunday, December 1st brings the iconic Urge Beach Party on world-famous Ocean Drive, Loomis Park. Music by Eric Villar and Joe Guthrow. Later, We Party finale at M2 will be headlined by Danny Brazil and Lope. The celebration culminates on Monday, December 2nd with the After at Level 1 featuring Alison Nunez and Danny Verde. For a prime location, we recommend staying at Royal Palm South Beach, just steps away from the action, with a special rate of $169 per night for festival goers. Single event and passes are selling quickly for this one-of-a-kind event. VIP passes are also available. For more details and to purchase passes, visit urgemiamifestival.com. Well, this is going to be a fun-filled weekend that falls on also World AIDS Day weekend, which is December 1st. So as president of Impulse, I'm thinking about, you know, how we can infiltrate this and tap into these party goers and see what kind of advocacy and fun, sexy things I can throw into the mix with this party. I'm really excited to see what comes of it.
Well,
shutting down South Beach for this.
So Urge used to be White Party, right?
It was White Party for many, many years, which was produced by, it was a fundraiser for Care Resource, of course. And the signature event was the White Party at Vizcaya.
At Vizcaya, the garden.
But the beach party was always called Muscle Beach, which some people still call Winter Party. They say, oh, Muscle Beach. No, that was White Party. But White Party went on for years. And of course, it was 13 years ago that Louis and Hilton Woolman, who was the former owner of Salvation, which is legendary nightlife in South Beach, created Urge out of they kind of took over White Party, and I think it was called something else for a moment, but Urge, the company, it eventually evolved into this Urge Miami weekend. So they always have booths, at the beach party. And so I would think it was something. Can we just say it on the air, like right there? Like I see Impulse doing some kind of advocacy at the party.
In sexy gear,
I can totally see that.
Yeah, because it's a great place for great visibility on the beach and everything. So. I think it's really, really cool, and kudos to them, and also great honor and kudos to Hilton Woolman, who has been an icon, a legend, a trailblazer in the nightlife community for decades. Forever.
And let me read what Hilton had posted on his social media just yesterday. He wrote, 13 years ago, alongside Billy Kemp and Luis Morera, and with the assistance of Abel Aguilera, I co-founded Urge, a brand that has become synonymous with Miami's vibrant LGBTQ plus community. Today, I'm excited to announce that I have sold my shares in a company reflecting on an incredible journey filled with unforgettable moments. My deepest thanks go out to everyone who has contributed to Urge's success, the DJs, the dancers, the dedicated staff, and all the supportive venues. I mean, 13 years.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful stretch. And now, congratulations to Luis
Ralf.
and Raul.
Vegas.
So Vegas Dion, first of all, this man is just a beautiful specimen of what God creates.
Right.
He is just gorgeous from head to toe. Like I think the back of his ankle is gorgeous. Like it's like that. That is just how, and then he's got a saying that says the body is the outfit. Yes. Oh, bitch, you are right. Your body is the outfit. I never wanted to wear somebody's body in my life until you, right? And so he produced these incredible events, right? Like Winter Party and other stuff like that, right? So to see that it's going to be passed down to Raul, who it's
a beautiful flow.
He knows, but he's also essential in making this continue to be as great as it is.
And you look at his history of performing as Vegas and back into Discoteca and all these other, this a long history. And he's not that old, he's only like,
he's not. He's around our age.
Well, maybe your age. I mean, but he's been in the business a long time already.
Yes. He started young. So I love that. And so another thing, I'm sorry to jump in so much, but I know that Raul had posted a couple months ago, like, I've got some good news, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, right, that for Miss Florida, that's coming up next month, get your tickets today. Yeah. I thought he was going to come back dressed as Vegas Dion. I thought he was going to come back dressed as Athena's Dion mom, right? This beautiful drag queen. And I guess this was the news that he was holding out for.
So you were kind of disappointed?
But... No, because I love her and I love him. But I would love to see
Vegas.
I would love to see Vegas come back for, and I mean, I think
a mother-daughter reunion would be amazing on the stage at Urge.
It would be. I'm just saying, Raul. I'm just saying. But congratulations to everybody involved. Thank you, Hilton, for everything that you did and everything that you brought and your love and passion for our community, which is what has made Urge so freaking amazing to go to. And I love that beach party. That beach party is just simply everything. Everything. Congratulations to Luis and also to Raul.
Next, let's queer up trans rights. Thousands rally in D.C. at National Trans Visibility March. This week, supporters of transgender and non-binary people, along with their allies, gathered in Washington, D.C. for the National Trans Visibility March. The event, held annually since 2019, focused on increasing trans visibility in both politics and society. Participants emphasized the importance of supporting pro-trans politicians, contacting elected officials, and engaging in grassroots campaigns. This year's march also highlighted the intersection of HIV prevention and broader social justice issues. Advocates called for comprehensive sex education and culturally competent trans-inclusive healthcare services. Starting at noon at the Human Rights Campaign headquarters, marchers held signs that said, "Trans rights are human rights. Protect Trans Siblings, and Trans Lives Matter. The march concluded at the HRC headquarters, after which the participants enjoyed a post-march party at the Moxie Hotel. Notable speakers at the march included Hope Giselle, Kelly Robinson, Elijah Nicholas, Ollie Henry, Aya Damons, Louise Shackelford, and Lee Blender. Hope Giselle, who is the president of the National Trans Visibility March, honored Kelly Robinson, president of the Human Rights Campaign, with a Torch Award during the event. This award recognizes individuals whose work has significantly impacted the lives of transgender, gender nonconforming, and non-binary communities nationwide. This year's National Trans Visibility March holds great significance as it occurred against the backdrop of ongoing legislative attacks on the transgender community. According to translegislation.com, a record 642 anti-trans bills were considered across 42 states this year, with 45 successfully passed. Well, this is a good news story on the backdrop of a bad news story. So how amazing that they have this watch, that the trans community has this march on Washington. Because as we know, it's again, visibility, representation matters, and showing up. It harkens back to when the African Americans march on Washington, the gay march on Washington. So this is the next big step, I believe, for the trans community, and so important for us to continue to stand up as allies. So important.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see as many people as I saw, through that video show up to the march, and to make their voices known or heard, during this time, this election time in DC, to let them know that, listen, we need you guys as well. We also are a community that need your allyship, that need you guys to get out here and vote. I'm bringing it back.
And vote.
I'm bringing it
That's
back.
the theme of the day.
Bringing it back, yeah.
Oh my God, like Dale read that 45 bills actually were passed, and there were hundreds that were attempted.
Was it 642?
There were over 600 bills that were attempted against. And okay, nobody has been targeted more than our LGBTQ plus kids and our trans siblings. Okay, no one has. So. I can't speak for a trans person, but I know that for me as a woman, when I see a lesbian march or something like that, I feel seen. I feel counted. Right? And for allies, I wish that march would have been there. It would have been here, because we would have been in that march for, because it's not just a trans march. It is for people who also are allies to the trans community, which should be all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Which should be all of us, and I always go back to that little queer kid, right? That doesn't see themselves represented, or thinks that their governor hates them, right? And then they see a parade that people just like them are in this parade, and they're like, okay, I matter. I am enough.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to, I think about my childhood, and the previous story that I was talking about with the women's suffrage. It's, I remember watching programs as a kid, and, Golden Girls and Designing Women, and, and the struggles that, women had that portrayed through those type of stories. And it resonated so well with me. So, always going through my gay life and stuff, and then exploring, and learning about the trans community, I've always been a person that's really rooted for the underdog, and it always resonated with me, because it was just something that I knew for myself. I didn't want anyone else to feel less than, and I didn't want anybody else to go through the pain and suffering that I went through. So, if you can't support another a marginalized community, then who are you as a person?
What kind of a human are you? Because at the end, it's just human. It really is just human rights that we're asking for. We're not asking for something out of the ordinary.
Right.
The trans community is not asking for anything.
No special
I need a rocket ship right now because I'm trans. That's not what they're asking for. They just want.
They don't want their health care taken away.
Dignity.
I mean,
they want healthcare providers to freaking know about trans issues. That's not a lot to ask for. If I went to a gynecologist, spread eagle, and the person is like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, I'd be like, oh, no. You know what I mean? I mean, that shouldn't be something that they should have to fight for, and it is.
And we bring it all the way back to autonomy and misogyny. Autonomy over the body and misogyny. Misogyny is rooted in transphobia, homophobia, and also it's all about the autonomy over the body. You can't do what you want with your own body, And that is politicized, which brings it back to voting.
Right.
Bring it back to voting, bringing it back to taking care of your body and taking back the power that rests within your body for women, for trans folks, for all of us, just to continue to experience our own humanness. That's all. That's it.
I agree.
Next, you are invited to experience 19 days of Atlantic wonders from Florida to Quebec. Discover the ultimate adventure with the nonprofit Hotspots Happening Out Travel Club on this 19-day cruise tour from Florida to Quebec. Set sail aboard the elegant Holland America Zuiderdam and explore the Atlantic coast from historic Williamsburg to the lively streets of Boston and the picturesque charm of Newport, Rhode Island. Visit Nova Scotia's Halifax and Sydney. Sail up the famous St. Lawrence Seaway to Prince Edward Island. Experience Quebec City's French flair and then a 4-day comprehensive tour of Montreal. You can also extend your journey with an optional 5-day post tour to Toronto and the breathtaking Niagara Falls. Don't miss out. Reserve your spot now at happeningout.travel.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we're broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finish tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. Grindr aims to become your digital Gayborhood. With 13 million users globally, Grindr is developing a travel feature called Roam to help LGBTQ plus travelers find community and safe spaces. A Grindr release states, Roam allows you to visit a new geography to explore other profiles. Currently, testing Roam will show LGBTQ plus events, neighborhoods, and nearby users. The app, available in 190 countries, offers crucial resources, especially in regions where being gay is illegal. With these updates, Grindr aims to support its users in connecting and exploring new cities safely, whether they are locals or travelers. Well, I'm for anything that wants you to be safe. So if you're out there playing in a strange city, then at least you know where all the good spots are. So.
Exactly.
But I love that. I'm going to bang somebody in 10 minutes, but I need to find out where to get a pizza right after.
Right.
Safely. Thank you, Grindr.
Let's go to a museum first.
And to explain, right now Grindr has the feature of Explore, so you can go look at the people. But Roam is it places you in the middle of the people, so the people can see you too. So it places you in that exact location, and then you can get to know all of the whatever you're into.
Sure.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Chris Evans is playing Bushwick Bisexual. We are ready. Chris Evans, long adored as Captain America, is returning in the upcoming film Materialist. The 2025 movie from A24 and director Celine Song features Evans alongside Pedro Pascal and Dakota Johnson. Although there's no official confirmation about Evans' character's sexuality, the X account, Evans Content, is calling the character Bushwick Bisexual. The tweet has since sparked the internet speculation and excitement. While this rumor may just be fan fiction, the queer internet is totally digging Chris Evans as Bushwick Bisexual. And I'm digging Chris Evans as whatever bisexual, bisexual, quadrisexual. I saw him when he was Captain America. He was walking out with his family during the premiere in Atlanta.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Like in front of you?
In front of, like, I didn't even know, but he was just walking with his family. He's like, that was so cool. That was so cool. Oh my God. It was like his family or whatever. And I was just like, oh, he's just as fine as he is in the movie. He's just a little shorter.
Right.
But he could be whatever sexual, as long as he got that body as...
And when you're lying down, the height doesn't make that much of a difference.
No.
At all. Okay, here's your next movie, okay? All right? Pansexual Pedro and Bushwick Bisexual take over the world.
Ooh.
I love that.
I like that.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. Cora Schumacher opens up on husband and racing driver Ralf Schumacher's coming out. Former Formula One driver Ralf Schumacher recently came out as gay, receiving widespread support. However, his ex-wife Cora Schumacher has expressed her hurt over this revelation. Speaking with German publication Spiegel, Cora shared her disappointment at not being informed prior to the public announcement, calling it, quote, such a stab in the heart. Cora revealed feeling unloved and distant during their marriage, especially after their son's birth. She described herself as feeling like, quote, an old pair of sneakers. Like many straight spouses whose partners come out, Cora hopes for Ralph's happiness. But her comments focus attention on the effects on the wife when the husband comes out. Her experience underscores the need for society to let people pursue love and happiness on their own terms. You know, that's pretty messed up that you didn't tell her. I mean, like, I feel bad for her. Okay, if you're gay, you're gay. Please be your true, authentic self. Do what you have to do. I get it, right? But let the woman in on it. Okay, she gave you a kid. Right? She birthed you a child, all right? Maybe she wants to have sex with the neighbor instead of you, but let her be in on it. She deserves that. Obviously, she was your friend before she became your wife. And like,
Maybe.
that's That's just, again, she had the baby and then he really stopped paying attention to her. That could have been a huge indication that he was like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to go be with men and be my true authentic self. But, I feel bad for her. Like I just as the wife, like, come on, I always love when a wife is involved in the communication and the wife says, listen, go do you. I support you 100%. I will always cherish our moments together and our memories, but I understand that you need to go.
And I can understand why she'd be a little upset, especially with the fact that, he went and made this public statement and then she didn't even really get to know that this was happening. So it's about respect. Yeah. You end a relationship because you're being truthful to yourself, but you have to be respectful of others, especially the wife.
The mother of your child, Edward.
Yes. Clearly he wasn't that truthful. Like now all of a sudden you have this, I don't like these all of a sudden coming to Jesus moments where now,
I didn't know.
I don't like, you were in a committed relationship. And I've been through these things where you're in a committed relationship and the person is doing everything under God knows what, or harboring all sorts of secrets and things. And then after the relationship, now they're going out and doing God knows what and things. And it's like, if you would have just told me this, I feel you, Miss Schumacher, ex-Schumacher, but I feel you. Like if you would have just told me this from the get-go.
Yeah.
We could have avoided all that.
And then you're going to release why waste my time too?
Exactly.
But it also shows you the extreme internalized homophobia that exists. That's extreme.
That's extreme.
And yet he's willing to go out and to tell to the world before. It's kind of just,
he tells his ex-partner.
Yeah, it's just kind of, but that's even more like you're hurting the ones you love the most. It's that old tried and true cliche. It's really, oof.
Well, come on. And toxic masculinity is huge when it comes to Formula One and all that. I would have just expected him to want the support of his wife.
And I keep reminding people that gay men are gay men. They can also harbor toxic masculinity.
Hello.
We are men, especially those who identify with being a cis man, like myself. So I understand the processes of men and the mindset of men. Yeah. And sometimes we could be real AWACs. We could be real AWACs.
He meant assholes.
Yeah. All right. Well, now LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up entertainment. Out TV is serving up X-rated NYC season 3. This time, Boomer Banks, Max Connor, and Joy Mills are back, minus Dante Colley, who's off to X-rated LA. Joining the crew is Angel Rivera, bringing spicy history with Joey to the set. Be ready for some real drama as a villainous new producer named Alistair is out to stir trouble. Expect campy chaos, heated confrontations, and candid chats about the adult film industry. Produced by Daddy TV, the season will premiere on Out TV on September 3rd, with new episodes every Tuesday.
Fuck up and learn to run a fucking business.
Listen, Joey, you were cute at one time. Now you are somewhere between a twink and I don't know.
So, how does it feel to be back?
The boys are back.
Who this new cast member is going to be? Dun, dun, dun.
Angel Rivera. Hopefully it doesn't get too messy.
Did you know that Angel back?
Shutting the fuck up is often that.
Not my circus, not my clowns.
In New York, fresh drama comes faster than the A train.
I was over there telling him to shut the fuck up.
The show is next week. At least to be irrelevant, at one point you had to be relevant.
Say it to the camera.
With Angel Rivera officially moved in, he'll have to confront his turbulent relationship with Joey Mills.
We need to be just friends, and that's the only way this is gonna work. This is officially a friend zone.
And this year, instead of feuding with each other,
Fuck it, girl, let's go.
the legendary porn stars will have to band together to fight an evil force.
Oh, this is really funny.
Who are you filming this with?
Alistair,
Oh,
Baby.
No. The most horrible, toxic person.
What are you talking about?
You give a bad name to porn.
Wow.
He's a pimple on the end of his ass that needs to be popped. Fuck you, motherfucker.
You're a piece of fucking shit.
Get the fuck out of my office.
This September, X-Rated NYC returns to Out TV.
Time to get to work.
And this is why I watch porn not for the plot.
Wow, that is some drama. Oh my goodness. I got to watch this. Me and Edward were both like, man, we didn't even know this existed. We got to start watching this. Like, you know, like, how do I get LTV? I need to get LTV like tomorrow, you know? But and that guy, it's like they're all banding together to fight that one guy, right?
The villain,
the villain,
the new cast member.
You know,
Alistair's
his name.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, like, okay, so I'm good friends with Howard Andrew, and you know, and he has Fab Scout here in Broward, and I love him, and you know, I go and get to meet all his twinks and all his boys, and they're.
I love his post. I love his post about the boys that come into audition or the things they say. It's so funny.
The crazy things that they say and do, you know. But like, he's charismatic. This guy seems like he's forcing to be mean to these boys, right? All they want to do is just sell their content and have sex with other boys. Be nice to them.
And also, Max Connor is in this. So I follow his ex.
Of course you do.
Because he's a Pisces, he's fine, and he's black. But also he does Broadway. I believe he gets his acting chops on off Broadway or on Broadway. So to see him also honing
Puppeteer the penis, is that what he does?
Well,
no, that's actually a show. Okay, you can look it up.
But he's I'm happy to see him getting his acting chops here. You know,
because this is acting.
This is acting.
Acting,
and performing.
Acting adjacent.
Right.
It's improv.
Reality scripting.
Reality scripting. I've been in a few reality scripting series as well. So I understand. I understand. You know, you get your little chops.
I think they need an X-rated Wilton Manors or an X-rated Broward, right?
Or X-rated South Florida.
Do we need that really in Florida? Do we really need that?
How do you think Ron DeSantis is going to?
We have enough porn stars here to do a.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that they don't want to be on a reality show, which is probably why it hasn't happened yet down here. But they're probably coming. And Howard Andrew right now is going, let me make some calls. Let me make some calls. I know exactly the boys for the
We can get Johnson's involved. We can get Boardwalk involved.
Right?
We can get Palace involved.
Oh. The boy. You guys can come on too.
Hello.
It's a whole thing. Well, that is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I was just reading your shirt, Jay. What did your shirt say? Pretty boy? Lovely
Urban
boy?
Beauty Boy.
Urban Beauty Boy. There you go. So you said it all. Pretty.
Oh, shout out to Brandon Tucker. It is his line.
Shout out to Brandon Tucker. Nice pink shirt. Send me one that says Beauty Girl. Okay, I'm your anchor, FayWhat, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Jamaal L. Edward Otto Zielke, and Dale Stine. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.
Bye.